Max Verstappen is under increasing pressure from Lando Norris in the 2024 F1 title race, with the Dutchman having finished behind Norris in the last 3 races since the summer break. This shift in momentum has drawn attention from F1 pundits, including former world champion Jacques Villeneuve, who has raised concerns about Verstappen's recent performances ahead of the upcoming Singapore Grand Prix. Villeneuve, a vocal figure in F1 commentary, questioned Verstappen's dip in form after witnessing his championship lead narrow for the 3rd race in a row. At the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Verstappen unexpectedly lost 3 points to Norris, shrinking his lead in the Drivers' Championship to 59 points with only 7 races remaining. Norris, who started 15th on the grid, 9 places behind Verstappen, implemented a bold alternative strategy, beginning on hard tires and switching to mediums later in the race. This approach allowed Norris to close a 15-second gap and eventually overtake Verstappen, securing a 4th-place finish, while Verstappen finished 5th. Despite Verstappen's best efforts to defend into the first corner, Norris's charge proved too strong with just 3 laps remaining. McLaren now heads into Singapore with the momentum clearly on their side. Villeneuve noted a change in Verstappen's demeanor, stating, "Max, for the last few races, sounds downbeat. He's not even feisty in the race and doesn't fight that hard. Even on the radio, we barely hear him. Something has changed." He went on to suggest that Verstappen's struggles may be linked to dissatisfaction with the car's handling, adding, "He knows the car isn't driving as he wants, and his teammate was a lot quicker than him." Verstappen's issues were further compounded in Baku, where his Red Bull car setup was significantly altered before qualifying, which contributed to his lack of pace compared to teammate Sergio Perez. Despite starting in 6th, Verstappen appeared on course to finish behind Perez for the first time this season. However, a late race incident involving Perez and Carlos Sainz allowed Verstappen to climb to 5th. Reflecting on the race, Verstappen admitted, "It was quite a difficult race. After qualifying, I don't think the final change was the right one. We paid the price for that. It was as simple as that, because if you look at Checo, he had a much better race. It seemed like he was more comfortable." Verstappen's performance over the last 5 races has been lackluster, managing only 1 podium, in stark contrast to his record-breaking 19 race wins last season. Red Bull, typically dominant, has struggled, as other teams, notably McLaren, have appeared to outdevelop them. This shift has cast doubt on whether Red Bull can maintain their stronghold in the Constructors' Championship, which they have led for 55 races since the 2022 Miami Grand Prix. McLaren now holds a 20-point lead over Red Bull with their car, showing superior performance on race days. As Singapore approaches, the narrative around Red Bull's struggles continues. The 2023 Singapore Grand Prix was an outlier for the team, with both Verstappen and Perez struggling to get the car into the optimal operating window, particularly with the challenging curves. Sky Sports F1 pundit Bernie Collins suggested a similar scenario could play out this weekend, stating, "I don't think Singapore is the best track for them to bounce back, but maybe they have changed something since last year." One key issue Red Bull faces is a discrepancy between their wind tunnel data and on-track performance, which has led them down the wrong development path. The car's narrow operating window means it's difficult to extract peak performance unless conditions are perfect. This was evident in Baku, where Verstappen was quick in Q2 but visibly struggled in Q3, a trend that continued into the race. Meanwhile, Perez demonstrated that Red Bull's car still had pace as he battled with Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc, showing that with the right setup the car can be competitive. Team principal Christian Horner acknowledged the team's challenges, explaining, "I think Checo found a good rhythm and setup. Checo's car was very quick. We might have introduced some things on Max's car that didn't work as well. We probably damaged the tires a lot fighting in that group for such a long period of time." Horner remained optimistic, adding, "There's still a lot of racing to do. It was a magnificent race at the front for so many laps, and it was great to be a part of it. Just disappointing it came to a close like that when it didn't need to." Max Verstappen's recent dip in form and Red Bull struggles have opened the door for rivals like Lando Norris and McLaren to close the gap in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. With Verstappen's lead shrinking and Red Bull facing development challenges, the remaining 7 races promise to be intense. The Singapore Grand Prix will serve as a critical test for Red Bull's ability to bounce back, but if recent performances are any indication, the momentum may be shifting in favor of McLaren. All eyes will be on the streets of Singapore to see if Verstappen can regain his form or if Norris will continue to apply pressure, making the title race even more thrilling.
Hello McLaren faithfuls. If you loved this video, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you never miss any McLaren F1 updates with relaxing ASMR elements. Your support is what keeps this incredible community growing stronger every day. Let's continue the conversation and share our passion for McLaren F1 together. Discover my journey as a passionate creator navigating life with challenging disabilities. Despite the obstacles, I'm determined to follow my dreams and share my love for McLaren and F1 with the world. By becoming a patron, you'll not only be supporting my dream, but you'll also gain access to exclusive content, including untold stories of legendary F1 drivers and much more. Your support can truly make a difference in my life, helping me continue to do what I love. Click the link below and enjoy.